Hello everyone, this is Aishwarya, Assistant Professor of Department of Civil Engineering from King's College of Engineering. Now we are going to see the topic hydraulic flow in sewer and stormwater drainage. Introduction. The hydraulic design of sewer and drain means it is finding out the sections and the gradients. Section means the area of the pipelines, and then gradient. Gradient means slope of the pipeline which is to be carried out for laying the pipelines. So pipelines means usually we have the two types of characteristics of flow. One is sewer line and another one is water supply pipes. So what is the difference between water pipelines and sewer pipelines are? In sewer pipelines it carries only wastewater, that is which contains more solid particles like suspension particles and then dissolved matters, etc., which may which may result in clogging of sewer. And next one is major problem will create by producing pressures instead of because of presence of waste particles, but in water supply pipes it carries only water. So in order to design this, we need to design minimum velocity and maximum velocity which is to be carried out in sewer pipes. So here we are going to discuss what is meant by minimum velocity. Minimum velocity means the deposition of particles or a solid matters which may deposit under the surface of sewer. So it may result in clogging of sewer. Therefore, this must be avoided by providing minimum velocity to move over, that is to avoid deposition of particles. So this maintenance of minimum velocity is known as self-cleansing velocity. So the cleaning velocity may vary based on the materials. For example, for angular stone, the self-cleansing velocity may be 100 centimeter per second. And next one is round pebbles, it may be around 60 centimeter per second, and for fine gravel 30 centimeter per second, and for coarse sand 20 centimeter per second. So next one is maximum velocity. So here if the velocity of flow is exceeding the certain limits, the particles of solid may damage the inner surface of the sewer. So this results in scouring actions. Okay, so in order to avoid this, the velocity, that is maximum velocity, must be maintained in order to avoid this scouring action. So this is also known as non-scouring velocity. So here also we have some of the velocities, that is non-scouring velocities based on the sewer materials. For example, earthen channel have non-scouring velocity in the range of 20 to 120 centimeter per second, and brick-lined sewer lies around 150 to 240 centimeter per second, and cement concrete sewer lies around 240 to 300 centimeter per second. And last one is stonebar sewer pipes. Non-scouring velocity range is 300 to 450 centimeter per second. So next one is the sewer velocity maybe depends upon the following factors, that is longitudinal slopes or else gradient of the sewer, and second one is hydraulic mean depth. Hydraulic mean depth means ratio of area by perimeter, and third one is coefficient of roughness of internal surface of the sewer, and last one may be the presence of content, sewage content, which is transporting maybe organic matter or sediment or minerals, depends upon the content of sewer. So in order to find this velocity, we have hydraulic formulas. Very important one. First one is Chassis formula. So in order to find the velocity, we have a formula V is equal to C root of Ri, where V means velocity, C means chassis constant, and root of R means hydraulic mean depth or else hydraulic radius, I means bottom slope. So here we are going to find only C. Before that, in chassis formula, the value of C lies between 50 to 70, but here they can give direct value of C, or else they can give Basins constant. So using Basins constant, we can able to find the Chassis constant. So Chassis constant indication is capital C. So here if they give Basin's constant means we have to calculate first Chassis constant, and then finally we have to find out this velocity using this formula. So C is equal to 157.6 divided by 1.81 plus K divided by R power 1 by 2, where K is a Basin's constant and R is the hydraulic radius. So in order to find this K value, it is based upon the nature of the sewer. For example, if the surface of the sewer is very smooth means K value lies between 0.109, and normal smooth surface like bricks or concrete means the K value will rise in the range of 0.29, and for rubble masonry the K value is 0.833, and for good earthen materials the K value may be 1.54, and for rough brick and concrete values will be 0.5, and rough earthen materials the K value lies between 3.17. So next important formula is Manning's formula. So here also we are going to find the velocity, but the formula may vary using Manning's formula. So V is equal to K divided by N, R power 2 by 3, S power 1 by 2. So here V is equal to velocity, K means conversion factor, N means Manning's constant, R means hydraulic radius, S means slope. The N is calculated similar to Chassis constant. Here also the N, that is Manning's constant, will be given directly, or else they can give Kutter's formula. So in order to find this Kutter's formula, we have one formula, that is C is equal to K1 plus K2 divided by S plus K3 divided by N whole divided by 1 plus N divided by whole root of R into 1 plus, that is K1 plus K2 divided by S. Here we have S means friction slope, N means Kutter's roughness, and we have one more constants, that is K1, K2, K3, that are Kutter's constants. So fifth formula is Hazen-Williams formula. So here we are going to find the velocity using formula V is equal to K C into R power 0.63 into S power 0.54. So here where V is equal to velocity in terms of meter per seconds, and K is the conversion factor, and C is the roughness coefficient, and R is the hydraulic radius, and finally S is the slope of energy line. So next we are going to see stormwater drainage. So stormwater drainage means, let us have a look on this picture. So here we have two types of pipelines. So left side pipelines carries brown color water, and right side pipelines carries blue color water. So what is mean by it? Means just they have written, it is a wastewater treatment, it is the water which is carried by the wastewater, and this pipe is carrying rainfall water. So here the indication is wastewater indicates brown and normal water indicates blue color. So here they are mentioning stormwater flow is also known as wet weather flow. When the rainfall takes place, a part of water may infiltrate into the ground and remaining part maybe flows over the land. So if we are not draining it properly, it will result in flooding. So where it is coming from, this rainwater comes from ground surface, pavement and roof surface. This is commonly known as runoff or stormwater runoff or just stormwater. The stormwater or the stormwater runoff mainly depends on the following factors. So main first factor is catchment area. So catchment area may be dry land or else wetland, or else that is based on the surface of area. And second one is ground slope. Sometimes we have flat land, or else sometimes we have more slope areas. So based on the slope also the runoff coefficient will changes. And third one is permeability of ground. Permeability means ability to absorb. And next one is imperviousness of area, such as buildings, paveyards and non-absorbent road surface. And next one is vegetation growth. If we are having more vegetation growth, the absorption value will be more. And next one is rainfall intensity. So based on the amount of rainfall, it may vary, that is runoff coefficient may vary. So next one is rainfall duration. Duration means, for example, the rainfall timing may be varying. So next one is condition of ground prior to the rainfall, that is before rainfall, what will be the conditions of ground. And next one is concentration or compactness of the catchment area. For example, if we are having loose soil, the rainfall will be easily absorbed, or else the rainfall will be going off, that is runoff will takes place. And last one is it also based upon the climatic conditions such as wind, humidity, temperature, likewise. So this drainage discharge mainly calculated by two methods. So first one is rational method and second one is empirical formulas. So rational method, which is based upon three factors. One is catchment area, and second one is impermeability factor of the catchment area, and third one is intensity of rainfall. So this can be used only when we are having the area less than 400 hectares. So in order to find this discharge, we have main formula, that is Q is equal to K into A, I, and R into I. So K means constant, A means catchment area, and I means imperviousness area, Ri means intensity of rainfall in mm per hour, I means impermeability coefficient. So what is meant by rainfall intensity? It is the average rainfall rate in hours for specific rainfall duration and a selected frequencies. This can be found out by the formula I is equal to B divided by time of concentration Tc plus D whole power E. Here we have the alphabetics B, C, E, which are coefficient of rainfall, and then Tc means time of concentration, I means rainfall intensity. So next one is the main term, time of concentration. So time of concentration means the time required for an entire watershed to contribute to runoff at a point of interest, where we are having the final flow is known as point of interest. This can be calculated by adding time of inflow and time of outflow. So the time travel and the TCs are the main function of length and velocity for a particular water course. So next one is empirical formula. Empirical formula is nothing but it is a formulated one. In previous method we can just apply the values what they have mentioned, but here we have many formulas in order to find this Q value. It also applicable only for smaller areas. For example, what are the example empirical formulas are Berkeley-Ziegler formula, Dickens formula, Rives formula, and English formula. So first one is Berkeley-Ziegler formula. So here QP means Q indicates discharge, P means peak. So peak discharge is equal to 1 divided by 455 K dash, where K dash means coefficient of runoff and is into P. P means rainfall intensity and A means drainage area in terms of hectare and whole root of S naught. S naught means nothing but the slope of the ground, again divided by A. So next one is Dickens formula. So Dickens formula means Q is equal to C into A power 3 by 4. So Q is a peak flow rate and C is a constant and A is a area. And Rives formula, so this is similar to Dickens formula, but Q is equal to C A power 2 by 3. So A means area, C means Rives constant. The constant may vary based upon the formulas. So next final formula is English formula. So here Q is equal to 124A whole divided by whole root of A plus 10.24, where A means area of catchment in terms of square kilometers. So here they have given format of simple ground. So here this is the portion that is catchment area. Here blue color portion indicates lake surface and blue line indicates river and green portion indicates forest, and this symbol indicates agricultural land, and this area indicates the building, and this portion indicates communication. So here, if the rainfall takes place, it is gathered in some places and it is moved over the more slope areas. Thank you.